Okay, hello guys, this is Charles1K92 and today we're going to talk about something very interesting today, and this video is about Kingdom Hearts 3. So this video is basically just going to start off with generally what my thoughts, opinion and feelings are to the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. So if you can roughly hear in the background, which I'm not too sure if you can, but it's the actual Kingdom Hearts 3 theme song, which is called Don't Think Twice. It's played by the same singer and songwriter of basically the last two Kingdom Hearts main titles, and I have this playing in the background just for whatever the reason. I also got a feeling that perhaps maybe copyright stuff might happen, but hey, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just doing this just to create background. So, just a moment. So we're just going to turn it down a little bit more. Okay, so to break a long story short, Kingdom Hearts 3 was at this year's E3. They released 3 trailers in total, and each one of these trailers shows us a few bits and pieces. So I'm actually going to try and get that up for us now. So just going to go onto Kingdom Hearts' YouTube channel. Okay, where is it? Clicking. Okay. Well, technically I say 3 trailers. Technically there was a 4th one, but this was before E3, and this trailer was basically the orchestra's trailer of events. But in E3 we were given 3 trailers, and I'll tell you the names, and you can basically look this up online if you wish to make it easier for you to search the video. So the first trailer which they released, which was I believe on the Xbox, because you know what, Kingdom Hearts is also coming to the Xbox, but they had to debut something, so they decided to show it there. And this one was called the Kingdom Hearts 3 E3 2008 Frozen trailer. So this is where they show off the world of Frozen. And basically, the way how the Kingdom Hearts shader works is it almost looks like as if you are in a Pixar animated film. And they've done the Frozen world, although I've never seen the film personally, it looks like to me they've done it justice, which is pretty interesting. It also shows off other existing worlds, which we have seen in recent trailers. It also shows us a little bit more of Rapunzel, Monsters Inc., and Hercules' world, Olympus. We also get to see a few characters from this, some people returning back. There's mentions of Roxas coming back, and everything else. But in this trailer particularly, the major bombshell is this, and my heart is broken for it, is one of the main protagonists from Birth by Sleep, known as Aqua. After the events of that game, she was left in the place known as the Realm of Darkness, and she was there for 10 years in game time. So you can imagine, okay, she's there for 10 years. She did have a chance to escape, which was in 0.2, but the Demon's Wave Heartless kept her in the Realm of Darkness. So she tried to escape, but ultimately she fails at that. But in the end of this trailer, we see both Riku and Mickey at this place called the Dark Margins, where Sora and Riku were at together before they went home in the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. And we see a very shadowy version of Aqua just standing in front of obviously the camera. Riku looks like he's injured, and Mickey is somewhat half in a dark portal and half out of the dark portal. This shadowy version of Aqua walks up towards a Kingdom Key, which I believe to be is the Dark Realm's Keyblade, but I think Mickey has done something to this Keyblade. He's upgraded it somehow. It looks like the Keyblade and the Star Seeker somehow melded together to make a brand new Keyblade. I'm guessing that's the case, or the way, if there is evolution of Keyblades now in Kingdom Hearts 3, then it could mean a whole potential things. Really, it could. So she picks up the key and she says, "This Keyblade," and to her it must feel quite familiar because she must have seen this before. And that must have been at the time when she met Mickey, and Mickey took the Dark Realm's Keyblade, which is the opposite version of the Kingdom Key of what Sora has. Any case, getting back onto the topic. So she picks up the key, she says that quotation, and Mickey is surprised. He goes, "Wait a minute, is that..." Afterwards, this dark shadow falls from her, We see from from behind, her hair is no longer the blue that it should be, it's now white. She then turns and says, Mickey, you're too late. And by the time too late comes out, we see her face and her eyes are no longer the blue that it should be. It's now a Xehanort yellow. Meaning, unfortunately, as the quotations are from the internet these days, from the Kingdom Hearts community and fan base, it means that she has now been naughted. So that doesn't mean like the number naught, it just means Xehanort's last few words, letters in his name where it says naught. You just add that on to Aqua's name and she's now known as Aqua Naught. Same thing to go with Terra Naught and so on. But that's what we got from that trailer. In the second one, from the E3 showcase from Square Enix, they showed us another trailer and basically gave us a few things. Just got to check something. Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing, don't worry. So basically they show us a few things, basically the same stuff all over again, but with a few other bits and pieces added in, and that's kind of, wow, interesting. But then finally, the PlayStation one. The PlayStation's trailer trumps both the Xbox and Square Enix one. So what this trailer shows us, it shows us Sora going back to the Pirates of the Caribbean world of Port Royal, and he is actually now in a pirate's outfit, so something which is pretty awesome. So now I'm going to assume there are going to be some worlds where Sora is actually going to take on the appearance of the key world's features. So basically how this works, it's Donald's magic. Donald does state this in the very first game, that when they go to a particular world in question, let's take Halloween Town for example, when Sora and gang arrive there, they dress up in Halloween costumes, or monsters as they would like to call themselves, to spook the residents. And then in the final mix variant of Kingdom Hearts 2, when you go to Halloween Town, when you go from Halloween Town to Christmas Town, Sora's outfit changes again into that Santa kind of look. Donald looks like a possessed snowman, and Goofy is a reindeer. Any case, from that standpoint, in the Port Royal world, or Pirates of the Caribbean world, Sora is basically a Jack Sparrow copycat. He's wearing a captain's kind of attire. So he's got a captain's hat, he's got a captain's coat, he's wearing the shorts, he's wearing the boots, he's practically pirated out. Donald is, well, just wearing a shirt and a bandana, and Goofy is just wearing pirate trousers, pirate boots, and a pirate shirt, along with other pirate regalia, like rings and maybe, I don't know. Keep getting text messages, why? It's just work. Any case, so it doesn't just stop there. In the Monsters Inc. world, Sora takes on the appearance of an actual monster, along with Goofy and Donald. And still progressing through this E3 trailer, we actually get to see a returning organisation member, somebody which the fans have been theorising that he'd make a return, and it's Luxord. Luxord was the 10th member of the original organisation, and it's ironic because he appeared at Pirates on Port Royal to steal the chest, which was the fucking gold pieces in the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. The Aztec treasure, the ones where if you take one you turn into a skeleton figure. But in any case, he still comes back to this world, and he's in search for a box. So it's basically, oh cool, alright, a box. What box is this? It's very complicated, but there's this box in the Kingdom Hearts lore which is very important, which the guy who made, let's say, the Kingdom Hearts universe, or the Kingdom Hearts world, or the Kingdom Hearts in general, had this box, and this box contains a secret which no one in the community knows. Not a single person will know what is inside the box, except for two characters, which is the Master of Masters and Lucio. They are the only two people that know what is inside the box. And under no circumstances can the box be opened. In saying that, that the new organisation is after this, which is peculiar. Anyway, so Trailer still continues. We see the same cutscenes again of gameplay. It seems also that both Xemnas and Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, seem very intent for Sora to go and find and awake Roxas up. So I don't know why they want this to happen, but they do for some reason. Also, there's talks of, Larxene seems very interesting. She's another returning character from Kingdom Hearts Rechaining Memories. She was also another organisation member. She has come back, and she's also been Xehanortified, because her eyes are now matching the same thing. She seems to be on a mission where she's seeking out new 7 lights. Now, we don't know if they're new 7 pure lights, which I'm supposing that's what she's referencing, because the original 7 princesses of Heart still exist in the Kingdom Hearts lore. So unless, for some unknown reason with these newer worlds that we're going to, that there's more than just the normal 7, there's actually more than 7, and perhaps maybe Xehanort is after this, these other 7 lights, who knows. But in any case, it's mainly focused on Elsa from Frozen, because she has this power to control ice, and she's very frightened of this ability, because whenever she's, I think from the movie, I think she hurt her sister, and she still feels that kind of guilt and regret that she doesn't have control of this ability, which is very sad. And I'm going to guess while we're in the Frozen world, it's Sora's job to kind of just say, listen, when I first started on my travels, or when I first knew I had this Keyblade, I didn't know what kind of power that I had at all. He knew it was devastating, but over the course of him being self-taught, he learned how to control his abilities, predominantly in ice magic. Well, not saying ice magic, but let's just take his ice spells as an example. Sora, throughout all the Kingdom Hearts games, is able to use some versions of magic. Mainly the elemental kind of stuff. So you have your fire, your wind, your ice, and thunder. So you have those elemental kind of stuff. And through using Blizzard, Sora is able to actually freeze opponents in place. And he could actually perhaps train Elsa to control her ice powers. So she might be a player, she might be a party member later on. It just depends. Or maybe a boss. It just depends on how they want to go with it. But Larxene seems very intent to find out what side she chooses, the light or the dark. Sora seems confident that Elsa's not going to fall into darkness, because he's going to make sure this doesn't happen. Any case, moving from Larxene, we're going to be seeing Braig again, or Xigbar. He seems very intent that Sora should just listen to his heart and go and do what Sora has to do. And don't be surprised if what you're looking for is right around the corner. So he's still playing up to his old tricks of basically being more or less a troll, I think is the best word. He basically leads Sora on to go do something. He's done this in Kingdom Hearts 2. He's done this in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. He's even done this in Birth by Sleep against the three Wayfinder trio. What else is there? I'm actually going to have to start looking, because not that I've forgotten. Let's see, just trying to merge along. There is Vanitas as well, who is in Monsters Inc.'s world, and he basically explains to why he's there and why the Unversed are there, which are the beings that he's able to control. So what he says is that he allowed the Unversed to use the Monsters Inc.'s world, where they can go from their world into other worlds through doors, mainly into obviously kids' bedrooms to scare them. And because the Unversed only operate under emotion, basically the Vanitas use this to entice fear into the kids, and from that fear, from the screams and the horrors of seeing these creatures, it basically bolsters their power and perhaps maybe even causes them to produce more of them. Maybe. So, because usually, in the originally, Vanitas was only able to reproduce these on the feelings and emotions that he got. So, unless they decided to change his ability now, where he doesn't have to feel these emotions personally, if he's exposed to it from somebody else, he's able to use that to produce more of them. So that's what Vanitas is doing. But also I believe Vanitas is seeking out Ventus's heart, which is residing in Sora's. So that's another thing entirely. At the very end of the trailer, we actually get to meet Lee, or Axel, however you want to pronounce him or call him, but technically he's Lee because he's a complete person. And he's there and he is talking to Kairi, and Kairi's wearing a new outfit, she's changed her hair and everything else, and she's looking pretty good. Now, at the very, very end of the trailer, so this is at the point when, before we see the logo and everything else, we see Riku is back on Destiny Island with what I suppose is his replica. So they're both together for some reason, and I'm not too sure how to feel about this, because the last time those two met, if this is true, would be at Castle Oblivion. That was when the last time I would believe they met. Unless, if I want to add in Dream Drop Distance's cutscene where Riku met another version of himself, that might have been the replica. So it's either in Dream Drop Distance where he last saw his replica, or at Chain of Memories. It really doesn't matter, but I think it will, because depending on what this replica's goal is. Because at the moment, no one knows what the goal is for the replica. The replica wanted to be real. He wanted to be his own person. He failed at this at the end of Chain of Memories. So, it stands to reason then somehow he managed to survive his fate, as it were, and he's now back. So, could this person, this replica, fight for the Seven Guardians? It's entirely possible. I mean, if we are to list off the Seven Guardians now, from what I believe to be the list, you have, obviously, you're going to have Sora. He's going to be one of the Guardians. Whether we like it or not, he's going to be one. You have Riku, you have Kairi, and then you have Mickey, and then you have Lee. Which just leaves us with two more left. Now, if they're going after Roxas, the Seven Guardians, then Roxas will make our 6th member. But the 7th member comes into question. Who's it going to be? Well, you could argue to say, well, why don't they get Naminé, because she's Kairi's nobody? Yeah, sure, she should be allowed to wield the Keyblade because she is her nobody after all. It could be Xion, but somehow they're going to have to do this from Roxas. It could actually work, because if they bring Roxas back, the byproduct of that could be Xion coming back as well. It just depends, because she's also suffering, as well as many other people are. But at the same time, it could be Riku's replica could actually come in and say, no, I'm going to fulfill this role. Yeah, that means there are two Rikus, one's a Keyblade Master and one isn't, but hey, that could work out. Unless there's a new member that we don't know about, a new Keyblade wielder who might as well become a Guardian. Who knows? But now we're going to go through what I believe is the list for the organisation. So, I just need to figure out where it is. I think it's this one. No, it's not that one, it's a different one. I do have a list somewhere. Let's see. Okay. A recent list that I made. So, the guy who needs no introductions of it all. So, the way how I've done my list, so I'm just going to have to take my laptop here because I don't have my tablet to use at this moment. So the list goes as the of known Xehanorts that are, from what I believe, are confirmed. So the head and leader of the new organisation is Master Xehanort, and I've also given small little bios for them. So Master Xehanort, Keyblade Master and leader of the True Organisation 13. Goal is to recreate the Keyblade War and also reclaim what was lost from that war. So he wants to find out what it is. The second member of this new organisation is none other than Xemnas, former leader of the organisation and nobody of Terranort. Third member, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness, former leader of the Heartless and Heartless of Terranort. Braig, or Xigbar, however you want to pronounce his name, is the former member of the organisation's number 2. Already has half of Xehanort within. Motive, unclear. Terranort, the 5th member. Former Wayfinder trio. Fallen to darkness and is half Xehanort. The 6th member to fulfil this new position is another is Aquanaut. Basically, it's Aqua, and she has been possessed by Xehanort now, and she's now known as Aquanaut. But she's a former Wayfinder trio, a respected Keyblade master, left in the realm of darkness for over 10 years, now has half Xehanort. The 7th member is Isa, former member of the organisation's number 7, was chosen by young Xehanort to become a new vessel for Xehanort. Now, number 8 is going to be speculation, so take this with a huge fistful of salt. The 8th member of the organisation is Ventus, former Wayfinder trio, lost his heart after a battle with his dark self, and now sleeps in Castle Oblivion. Xehanort still seeks him and perhaps wants to possess him. The 9th member of the organisation, young Xehanort, Master Xehanort's younger self, and has the ability to travel through time, which he does. The 10th member of the organisation is Luxord, former member of the organisation's number 10, now as half Xehanort. Mission is seeking the box, or a box in particular. The 11th is Marluxia, former member of the organisation's number 11 and former ruler of Castle Oblivion. Half Xehanort, but his mission is unclear, so we don't know what he's up to. The 12th member of the organisation, former member of the organisation's number 12, Larxene. Mission is seeking 7 new lights. And finally, the 13th vessel and member, Vanitas, dark side of Ventus's heart, loyal only to Master Xehanort, controls the unversed, and his mission is to seek Ventus's heart. So I have done that list for a reason. The reason why I've done that list in that way is, for me, seeing how each member has gotten into their own precise roles makes sense to me because of how everything was left. So if Xehanort has returned and he's seeking to have other versions of himself, then it would seem to stand to reason that obviously he's going to have himself, he's going to have the Nobody, he's going to have the Heartless, he's going to have Braig, so that makes it 4. He's going to have Terranort, because that will make 5, so that's an easy 5 people already. Then, for Aquanaut, it would be very simplistic, because all he has to do is send Terra to go over there, transform into Terranort, beat her, bring her, well, not bring her back, but basically give her Xehanort's heart, and thus she becomes a Naught, because she does, because we've seen it in the trailer, so that makes 6 members. Isa makes the 7th member because he was taken already. Ventus, it's a clear, easier path for Xehanort to get Ventus now because he has Aqua in his possession. She knows where Ventus is kept within Castle Oblivion, so that way Ventus is an easy number 8 in the organisation. As I said for number 9, young Xehanort will fulfil the 9th role because 1, he is a sitting member of that organisation, and 2, with his ability to time travel, he was able to go and recruit a majority of the members who had fallen in the past organisation. And this goes to stand with why it does so, because it makes sense for me to break it down between having young Xehanort to be right. At this point here, young Xehanort has got a reason to be at number 9, because the past 8, yes, granted the second, the third members of the organisation of this new one were destroyed, and so he rescued them before their destruction in however time works. But at the same time, if Terranort is to be truly to come back, because I believe he would be, then he would have had to have gone back in time, saved them without causing a huge dilemma to the timeline, and allowing these beings to exist again. But in any case, he also went back to gather Luxord, Marluxia, and Larxene, and Vanitas. So these last 4 members he had to go back for, prior the other 2 that would make 6. So young Xehanort had to go and find 6 members to fulfill the role. Now, this is also under the speculation that Ventus is going to become the last member to sit in the organisation's chairs. Now, in the end of Dream Drop Distance, we all saw the fact that Sora was apparently supposed to be the 13th vessel. Now, at that current time, it looked like Sora was destined to be it. But it seemed fate, and obviously, because Sora is the hero, from what we know, he can't be a Xehanort. But at the same time, I'm going to have to allow myself to say, potentially speaking, Sora can still be a member, but I'm not doing that for whatever reason, because I want him to be the good guy for at least this one chance. I wouldn't mind seeing halfway through the game that we see Sora turn to evil, and then we have to play as Ventus. But somehow I doubt this. In any case, Ventus is going to be a Xehanort vessel for one reason in particular, because Ventus will be needed to make the Keyblade, and I don't think it has to be that much bias now on whether Ventus is on the light side or on the dark side, because when Xehanort done this originally, he said, I needed to have somebody of pure light and I need to have somebody of pure darkness. So he made Ventus pure light by extracting the darkness out of Ven's heart, which then gave birth to Vanitas. When the two clashed together back in Birth by Sleep in the Keyblade graveyard, Ventus, as a being, was still standing. Vanitas was inside him. And thus we had this culmination of Vanitas, I think is the correct word. So basically it was Ventus's outer body, but with Vanitas's kind of clothing, wielding the fabled Keyblade, not as in like K-E-Y, but the Kai symbol, the X. So that happened, but it wasn't a perfect Keyblade, it was an imperfection one. So the way how Xehanort wanted to achieve this didn't work, it failed ultimately. So it would be a bit of a funny thing for me to see Terra, Aqua and Ventus together again, but now as the enemy. And this game is supposed to be very upsetting. It's supposed to cause moments where we have to say, wow, they really have gone and done this. They really have gone and challenged. Well, not say challenged, it wouldn't be that. They have really decided to go forward and basically crush our hopes down, because them saying that the ending is actually going to make us question everything, which I agree it will, but then when they show us the trailer, which they have done, it's not just the ending, it's actually the entire game, and everything that has been said up until now has got me very excited. But finally, there is one little note of stuff. So, if you're like me and you want to be able to get your hands on Kingdom Hearts, and let's just say you wanted to pre-order it, you can. You can pre-order the game. You can actually go onto Kingdom Hearts' website, so you can easily just do a little quick Google search, and I will also try to put a link into my description box of its main website. You can go there, and basically it will just show you the Kingdom Hearts page, and all you have to do is you just have to scroll down and until you see it's kind of like a hotbar of where you can see a list of either games, video or screenshots, And all basically you want to do is you want to click on the game section, click on Kingdom Hearts 3, let it load, and then it will ask you if you want to pre-order. Click on that and it will take you to a separate page, and it will show you the Kingdom Hearts 3 different editions. There are actually editions for Kingdom Hearts 3. So you've got your standard edition, which will be just Kingdom Hearts 3. You'll get a certain pre-order bonus because you pre-ordered it, and that's that. Then you get a deluxe edition, which means that you get a few other little goodies and some in-game content. And then finally, you've got a much more expensive edition, which will basically contain the game, along with other goodies and everything else for digital-wise and whatever, and a few little figurines. I say little, but more or less big, I guess, I don't know. And you can do that. But you don't have to do it that way. You can also do it from the PlayStation Network. You can pre-order it online on the PSN or on Xbox One. And yeah, so I believe that's that. There's nothing really else more to say except, wow, it's been a hectic few days for me. I've had one day where I basically didn't sleep. I was talking online with people on the internet, on the computer, and it's just very difficult. And just one last tiny, very minute thing which I'll add. People have been constantly replying to my messages whenever I've shown them my list and I have told them who I believe will be members of this 13th organisation. Now, at the time, I didn't know this, but when somebody showed it to me via a link, or me actually finding the video itself, when I said that Marluxia was going to be a member of the organisation, everybody was talking about the time when he was first revealed in the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. He didn't have any yellow eyes, he had his natural blue eyes, if you can call them that, and him basically talking to Sora. Now, at the time, he did say that he did work for the only organisation, which in my mind at the time, the only organisation that is still around today is Xehanort's one. Unless Marluxia is going off and doing his own thing, that's fine. But the only thing that kind of cemented it for me, before watching the trailer that I'm about to describe to you, was when Larxene made her appearance. And I was thinking, well, it makes sense to perhaps maybe have her back, but you can't just have Larxene without Marluxia. Being in separate organisations, they have to be together. And in this trailer that I'm about to tell you, in the Japanese one, Marluxia, there's a scene where, in the original English one, the third trailer with the Pirates world in it, you'd see both Ansem and Xemnas saying, "Go set your heart free," and they disappear. And this is after the Larxene trailer. No, not the trailer, after the Larxene cutscene. So this part of it is scrubbed out for the Xemnas and Ansem one, but Marluxia is put in place. He doesn't say anything, but his arms are folded, the camera pans up, and when we see his face, the camera position, I believe, is... I'm trying to get it now, is here. So his arms are folded, and as the camera pans up, we see his eyes are Xehanort. So he has been Xehanort-fied. And that makes my argument valid, and it makes it clear, and it's now true. So if you are one of the people who will turn around and say to me, "Oh no, it ain't," then I will happily gladly leave a description, a link in that description for you to go and watch it, and basically for me to prove you wrong, because that's what I'll do. And the best time, if you are wanting to see when this takes place, I will probably say recommend for you to go 2 minutes 20 seconds in. So if you start roughly there, you should be at the point where Larxene is nearly finished with her cutscene moment, and then Marluxia's one will pick up straightly after that. So yeah, that is it. And unless now or otherwise, I would say that my list for the organisation is full. It's complete, it's done. There's nothing else that anyone else can do and or say to me otherwise. I believe that Ventus will become a Seeker of Darkness. I believe Ventus will betray the 7 Guardians of Light, which will mean that we have to go and find more we have to find one more Guardian. But that's generally it. So I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and possibly subscribe if you want to keep up to date with me. Since, hey, you know, I'm only doing this for the lols, for the fun. But yeah, this has been a good experience. So thank you very much. Bye bye.